The internet did not expect a vacation vlog to turn into a full-blown mystery thriller. But that's exactly what happened the moment Karlissa Saffold casually dropped those words, "Something feels OFF." Now listen. People go on vacation to relax, sip drinks, post sunsets, not to hint at energy shifts like they just walked into a haunted reality show. But the way she said it, yeah, that wasn't normal. It wasn't playful. It wasn't dramatic for attention. It had that low-key uneasy tone, like someone smiling on camera, but their eyes are telling a completely different story. And the internet, oh, they caught that immediately. Because the second those words hit social media, timelines flipped from chill mode to full detective investigation. Suddenly everybody became a body language expert, people zooming in on clips, replaying her expressions, analyzing her voice like it was evidence in a courtroom. Why does she look uncomfortable? Why did she pause like that? Wait, did y'all see that moment in the background? And just like that, a simple vacation update turned into a conspiracy thread with 100 different theories. And let's be real, when Karlissa Saffold says something feels OFF, people don't ignore it, because this isn't someone who just randomly throws words around. She speaks with intention, with energy, with that "I know something y'all don't know yet" vibe. And that alone was enough to send the internet into full meltdown mode. But here's where things get even crazier. Because this didn't happen in isolation. No. This dropped right in the middle of ongoing drama, existing tension, and a storyline that already had people watching closely. So when she suddenly hinted that something wasn't right during her trip, it didn't feel random. It felt like a warning. And the more people replayed that clip, the more one chilling question started spreading across the internet like wildfire. Was this just bad luck on vacation? Or was something much deeper going on behind the scenes? If you think this whole "something feels off" moment just came out of nowhere, yeah, that's already where the story starts getting interesting. Because nothing about this situation feels random when you really start looking at the timeline. The moment Karlissa Saffold said those words, it felt like a continuation of something that had already been building quietly in the background. And the internet, they picked up on that energy immediately. Now let's rewind a bit, because this trip didn't start off looking suspicious at all. At first, everything seemed normal vacation vibes. Relaxed moments, the usual posts that scream "I'm outside living my best life." But if you go back and actually watch closely, there were small details that didn't quite match the energy she was trying to show. Subtle pauses, certain expressions, little moments that people didn't notice at first. But now, they look very different. And this is where the internet turned into a full detective agency overnight. Because once people sensed something was off, they didn't just watch, they investigated. Old clips started resurfacing. Earlier posts got reanalyzed. And suddenly people were connecting dots that didn't even seem connected before. It was like watching a mystery unfold in real time, with everyone trying to solve it together. Now here's where things started getting messy, because the theories came in fast and from every direction possible. Some people said it was just bad luck, like things not going as planned on a trip. Others believed there was something deeper going on behind the scenes, something she wasn't fully saying out loud. And once those two ideas started clashing, the entire situation turned into a debate that nobody could ignore. And let's be honest, when Karlissa Saffold hints at something being wrong, people don't just scroll past it. She's known for speaking her mind directly, so when she suddenly sounds cautious or uneasy, it raises questions automatically. And that shift in her tone, that's what really caught everyone's attention. Meanwhile, the timing of all this felt way too convenient to ignore. This wasn't happening on a quiet day with nothing going on. It dropped right in the middle of ongoing drama and already existing tension. And when you combine a vague warning with a messy situation, you don't get calm reactions. You get chaos. And that's exactly what started building here. People began looking at everything differently, even things that had nothing to do with the trip at first glance. Every post, every comment, every interaction started being examined like it was part of a bigger puzzle. And the more they looked, the more confusing the situation became. It felt like every answer just led to more questions. Then came the reactions from fans, and of course, they were completely divided. Some people believed she was just being dramatic and reading too much into a normal situation. Others were convinced something serious was going on, and she was hinting at it without saying it directly. And then there were those who didn't care what the truth was, they were just here for the drama. But the most interesting part wasn't even what she said, it was what she didn't say. Because the way she left things open-ended made it feel like there was more she wasn't revealing. And that kind of mystery, that's exactly what keeps the internet locked in and obsessed. And as more people started talking about it, the situation kept growing bigger and bigger. What started as a simple comment during a vacation quickly turned into a trending conversation across multiple platforms. It wasn't just a moment anymore, it was becoming a storyline. And the craziest part, this still felt like the beginning. Because when something like this grabs the internet's attention, it doesn't just fade away, it builds, it evolves, and it turns into something much bigger than expected. And the way everything was unfolding, it was clear this situation wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. Because the more people talked about it, the more theories started spreading, and the harder it became to separate what was real from what was just speculation. And once things reach that level of confusion, they don't calm down, they escalate, and just like that, a simple vacation turned into something that felt way more intense than it should have been. Because when the internet senses mystery, it doesn't let it go, it digs deeper, asks more questions, and pushes the story further. And the way this situation was building, yeah, it didn't feel like a coincidence. It felt like the start of something much bigger, much messier, and way more unpredictable than anyone expected. And just when people thought the situation couldn't get any weirder, oh, it absolutely did. Because once those clips of Karlissa Saffold saying something feels off started circulating, the internet didn't just react, it exploded. Every page reposted it. Every blog picked it up. And suddenly, this wasn't just a vacation moment anymore. It was the main storyline across social media. Now the reactions, completely chaotic. People weren't just commenting, they were breaking things down like they were analyzing a crime scene. Some were laughing it off, saying it was just bad luck and overthinking, while others were dead serious, convinced something deeper was happening behind the scenes. And once those two sides started clashing, the drama hit another level, and then came the memes. Because of course they did. Within minutes, people turned this whole situation into a mix of keeping up with the Kardashians' energy and a chaotic WWE storyline. 1 minute people were joking, the next minute they were arguing like it was a live match with sides to defend and narratives to push. But underneath all the jokes, something felt tense, because the more people replayed those clips, the more they started noticing things that didn't quite add up. Her tone, her pauses, her expressions, it all started feeling less like a joke and more like a hint. And once that idea took hold, everything shifted from humor to full-on speculation mode. Now here's where things got really messy. Because the internet started digging into everything like detectives with unlimited time. Old videos resurfaced, past statements got re-examined, and suddenly moments from days or even weeks ago started looking suspicious. It was like people were trying to build a timeline of events that could explain what she meant, and the deeper they looked, the more complicated the narrative became. Some people claimed there were signs all along, others said this was just people reaching for drama. And once those contradictions started appearing, the confusion only made the situation bigger. Because when nothing lines up clearly, speculation grows even faster. Meanwhile, fans started forming strong opinions. And you already know how that goes. One side believed Karlissa Saffold was hinting at something serious without saying it directly. Another side felt like the internet was doing way too much over a simple comment. And then there were the chaos watchers just sitting back, enjoying the show like it was live entertainment. But the situation didn't stay contained. It kept expanding. Bigger voices started entering the conversation, commentators, influencers, and reaction channels all adding their own takes. And once that happened, the story went from trending topic to full-blown internet spectacle that nobody could ignore. And let's talk about the contradictions, because those added fuel to the fire. Some people pointed out moments where her energy didn't match her words, while others argued that people were reading too much into normal behavior. And once those conflicting ideas started spreading, the situation became even harder to understand. Now the biggest factor keeping everyone hooked? The mystery. Because nobody had a clear answer about what she actually meant. Was it just bad luck? Was it something emotional? Was it something emotional? Or was there something happening behind the scenes that hadn't been revealed yet? And that uncertainty kept the entire internet locked in. And every new reaction, every new clip, every new theory just added another layer to an already messy situation. It was like watching a story grow in real time with no clear direction and no obvious ending. And that unpredictability made it impossible for people to look away. At this point, the situation had completely taken over social media. It wasn't just a moment anymore, it was a full storyline with multiple interpretations, multiple angles, and no confirmed truth. And the more it evolved, the more complicated it became, because here's the thing about chaos at this level: it doesn't just stop. It builds, it spreads, and it transforms into something even bigger than expected. And the way everything was escalating, it felt like this was only the middle of the story, not the end. And just when people thought they had seen everything, another wave of reactions started forming. Louder opinions, stronger takes, and even more speculation flooded in. And that's when it became clear this wasn't slowing down anytime soon, because the energy wasn't calming down. It was evolving. And whatever was coming next, yeah, it was going to take this entire situation to a whole new level of chaos. And just when the internet thought the chaos had reached its peak, everything took a turn that felt less like drama and more like a full-on season finale. Because now it wasn't just about one comment anymore, it had evolved into something bigger that started affecting how people viewed Karlissa Saffold entirely. The conversation shifted from what happened on vacation to what's really going on behind the scenes. And once it reached that level, there was no going back. Now the internet wasn't just reacting anymore, it was judging, analyzing, and rewriting the story in real time. People started switching sides like it was a plot twist in a movie, with opinions changing every few hours depending on new clips and new theories. One minute she was being supported, the next minute she was being questioned. And the craziest part, nobody could agree on what the truth actually was, because every small detail suddenly mattered. Every expression, every pause, every word she said or didn't say became something people could break down and turn into a theory. And that's when the emotional side of everything started becoming visible through all the chaos. Behind the jokes and memes, there was a tension that felt real, heavy, and impossible to ignore. And then came the bigger voices stepping in, which pushed everything to another level. Influencers, commentators, and reaction channels started analyzing the situation like it was a documentary. Everyone had their own interpretation, their own breakdown, their own version of what they believed was happening. And once those voices got involved, the situation turned into a full-blown internet spectacle. But here's where things got even more complicated. Because instead of everything exploding into one final confrontation, the energy suddenly shifted. It didn't disappear, and it definitely didn't resolve, it just became quieter, but more intense at the same time. Like the kind of silence that makes you feel like something bigger is happening behind the scenes. Because sometimes, the loudest moment isn't when people are arguing, it's when everything goes quiet and you know something is about to happen. That's exactly where this situation landed. The chaos slowed down on the surface, but underneath, the tension was still there, building, waiting for the next moment to break everything open again. And that uncertainty is what kept everyone locked in. Because nobody knew what was coming next. Would she explain what she meant? Would something new come out? Or would another unexpected moment flip the entire narrative all over again? That unpredictability made it impossible for people to move on. Even as the initial hype started to fade slightly, the story itself didn't feel finished at all. If anything, it felt like we had just reached the end of one chapter and were standing right at the beginning of another. Because situations like this don't just disappear, they evolve into something bigger and more complicated. And just when people thought they could finally move on, small details started resurfacing again. Old clips, old comments, old moments suddenly became relevant again, like pieces of a puzzle nobody had finished solving. It was like the internet refused to let the story end, pulling it back into the spotlight every time it tried to fade. And that's when the realization hit: this wasn't just a moment. It was a storyline that was still unfolding. Every new reaction had the power to restart the chaos. Every new detail had the potential to change everything again. And at this point, anything could happen next. Because when a situation reaches this level of attention, it never truly ends, it just pauses, waiting for the next spark. And with the way things were left, it didn't feel like closure at all. It felt like build-up for something even bigger. So now the internet is just watching, waiting, refreshing their feeds like something major is about to drop at any second. And when that moment finally hits, it's not just going to shake things up, it's going to explode all over again. Because this story isn't over. Not even close. It's just transforming into its next, even messier chapter. And when that next twist arrives, yeah, the internet is going to lose its mind all over again. Now listen. If your brain is still spinning trying to figure out what actually just happened, don't worry, you're not alone. This whole situation went from vacation vibes to what in the mystery thriller is going on in record time. 1 minute you're watching normal posts, the next minute you're zooming into clips like a detective trying to catch hidden clues nobody else noticed. So now I gotta ask you, what do you think is really going on here? Do you believe Karlissa Saffold was just having a rough trip and people are overanalyzing everything? Or do you think when she said something feels off, she was actually hinting at something deeper that she didn't want to say out loud? Or maybe you think the internet just turned a small moment into a full-blown conspiracy? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because I already know this comment section is about to turn into chaos. I want the wild theories, the strong opinions, the I called this from the beginning energy. Don't hold back at all. Let's turn this into the biggest debate on the timeline. And if you made it this far, go ahead and smash that like button like it owes you money, because you already know this story is not over. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what happens next, because trust me, if something new drops, it's going to shake everything all over again. Turn on those notifications so you're not the last one trying to catch up while everybody else is already arguing in the comments. Stay locked in, stay curious, and stay ready, because over here, we don't just watch the drama. We break it down in real time. This is Celeb Sync, where the tea is always hot, the mystery never sleeps, and the next viral moment is always one step away. Always one step away.